Hey everyone, Sam here. I guess this will be my first video. I just didn't know what to talk about, so I guess I'll give my thoughts or predictions for Bleach chapter 460, I believe. I think that's the next chapter coming out. Well, anyway, it's for the next Bleach chapter coming out. And what it is Bleach chapter 459, or the chapter where Ichigo gets his Shinigami powers back, or Soul Reaper powers back, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I hate when people do that. I mean, it's the same damn thing. Oh yeah, by the way, I probably should have mentioned sometimes I'll cuss in these videos. I'm sorry if that offends you, but it's like 95% of the population cusses. That's how the world works today. Cursing isn't as prohibited as it used to be back in like the old days. But anyway, I'll try to keep it limited, but I feel like cursing adds a little bit of spice to a video. Anyway, but yeah, so it doesn't really matter how you say it. I used to call them Shinigami powers, but some people call them Soul Reaper powers, Death Reaper powers. I mean, whatever. People have different names for it. But anyway, whenever he gets his powers back, that's the chapter I'm talking about. We see Rukia come back. The time skip, I believe, was for 16, 17 months. It was about a year and a half. It was about a year and a half time skip. So they haven't seen each other in over a year and a half. And I was not expecting Rukia to come back. I mean, I was expecting her to come back, but not like that. For those of you that noticed, the title was called Death in the Strawberry 2. And the very first chapter of Bleach is called Death in the Strawberry. So they named it Death in Strawberry 2 like, it's their reunion, because in the first chapter, Ichigo meets Rukia for the first time. And then in this chapter, he meets Rukia again after like a year and a half of not seeing her. But anyway, the last chapter really did spark a morale thing for a lot of Bleach fans. And I was starting to get kind of annoyed with the whole Fullbring's arc. I don't really understand what I was kind of when I heard that when I heard they were introducing the Fullbring, I didn't really like it because I didn't know what to expect about it. I think the whole Fullbring arc was kind of pointless. I mean, I guess they were using it to build back up to this, Ichigo getting his Shinigami powers back. But I mean, what was the point of the Fullbring? We never really actually learned what Ichigo's Fullbring ability exactly was. Every Fullbring has a specific ability, and we really don't even know what Ichigo's Fullbring ability was. We just know that he got this skeleton-looking kind of armor, and he got this kind of weird, short-looking sword, or it was almost like a dagger or something, or a short sword. But all we saw is that he was really fast. He was able to cut Tsukishima's arm off, and it's like Tsukishima didn't even realize he did it. So he had really fast speed. They didn't do a good job of explaining his powers, in my opinion. But I want to touch on the fact that his new outfit, if you remember, his new Shinigami outfit in this chapter looks very, what am I trying to say? Very similar to his Soul Society arc outfit. When he first enters Soul Society to go rescue Rukia, his outfit looks a little similar to what it does now. He has these X markings across his chest and his wrists, and it does look a little bit different. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but his hair looks like it got longer. Like when he entered that new Shinigami form, it looked like his hair got longer than it was when he was not in that form. I don't know, maybe it was just me. Also, you notice his sword is different. I will admit it does look really similar to Zangetsu. The blade is different, but you can see the similarities between that sword and Zangetsu. Some things that people have been saying is, oh, well, maybe maybe Ichigo's father gave him his powers back, so maybe that was the release form for Ingetsu. Maybe that was the name of Ichigo's father. Zanpakuto was Ingetsu, and Ingetsu and Zangetsu were like really similar. Like they were, I don't know what it was. They explain it, but I don't really remember what it was about. They were like brothers or similar or something. And we still don't know anything about Ichigo's father. I mean, he must have been like a captain or something at one time, way back in Soul Society, like way before Shinji and Love and all those visors. I mean, way back before they even became, Ichigo's father could be like one of the really old Soul Reapers, like one of the very first Soul Reapers or something. They don't really give any detail into that, but I'm hoping they will soon. But anyway, what I would notice is there was like an energy sword that Rukia stabs Ichigo with, and I don't know. I think she stabs him through the heart. Like, she stabs him right through the chest, but it's not exactly through the heart. But if you remember in the first chapter, to transfer her power, she had to stab her Zanpakuto through Ichigo's heart. But she takes this energy sword, and I don't really know what the energy sword is. My opinion is I think the energy sword is like a pure form of spirit energy. Like some people said maybe Urahara saved some of Ichigo's spirit energy before he lost it, and he injected that into Ichigo to reactivate his powers. Some people said that Ichigo's father had something to do with it, like Ichigo's father transferred some of his spirit energy into this spirit sword, and it gave Ichigo's Shinigami powers back. That's why some people said that, he got a new sword and everything. But I don't really know. I don't really have an opinion or a prediction, really. I mean, not a really strong theory. But like I said, I think the sword has something to do with, like, Ichigo's father's spirit energy. But I've been reading a bunch of different predictions. Some people don't really know exactly what Ginjo and Tsukishima's story or background is. Like, what is their motive? What are they trying to accomplish? We know that Ginjo was originally a bad guy, or he was with Tsukishima, but some people said, well, this might be a training arc. Ginjo and Tsukishima might be friends with Urahara, and they might be doing this to, get Ichigo his powers back. I don't really think this is a training arc. It doesn't really seem like a training arc. I'd be surprised if it was a training arc, but I don't think it is. Anyway, Ichigo looks really badass, and I'm just like everybody else out there. I want to see what he can do with this new form. But, when you think about it, look at all the crap Ichigo's had to go through. Like, he started out as a regular, plain Shinigami Soul Reaper. He had his really big sword, and he got defeated by Byakuya and Rinji. And, Rukia got taken away, and then he goes to train with Urahara, and he awakens his own Shinigami powers. If you look at all the changes and powers Ichigo's gone through, I mean, you would think that he's so strong that nobody can to defeat him. I mean, think about it. He went through all that training, in Soul Society and with Urahara. He trained with Yoruichi. He unlocked Bankai. He was able to defeat Byakuya. I mean, Byakuya is like one of the strongest captains next to like Kenpachi in Soul Society, and Ichigo defeated Byakuya. So that shows you he was pretty strong even at the start of the series. And then you got the whole visored thing. He unlocks the whole the visored mask, and that even makes him stronger. And of course, he was still too weak to defeat Ukyoria. In Las Noches, in the final battle, he got his ass kicked, but he subconsciously goes into this form that we don't get any background detail about what this form is. Ichigo unlocks some kind of super hollow form, it's like he's not really he's not in control of his body. He's like blacked out, and his body's just fighting for him. But he beat the shit out of Ukyoria in this second hollow form, and I don't really know what it was. It was like pretty much, and also you'll notice Ukyoria references stuff like saying, "Oh, he's not using Shinigami abilities; he's using Espada abilities." So pretty much, I guess in a way, that was kind of like Ichigo's resurrection, or how do you pronounce that? Resurrection form or something, whatever they call it. Pretty much my theory on that is I think that form that Ichigo went into was kind of like his resurrection form of an Espada. Like when an Espada goes into a resurrection form, they kind of turn into like their demon subclass. I don't know how to call it, but I think that's what Ichigo did because Ukyoria was saying, oh, he's using Sonito, he's not using Flash Step. So he was using like Espada ability. So I think Ichigo kind of turned into like an Espada. I don't really know how he did that, but that's what he did, I think. But after he does the whole visor thing, he's really strong and he has like Bankai and all that stuff. And then after the first season ends and they bring Bleach back, he starts to get this full bring. So now we got a full bring, and everybody. And also that's another thing. Whatever happened to Ichigo's visored powers? Like that's something I'm curious about. Like in this new form, can he still use his his mask and his original Bankai, or is he going to have a completely brand new Bankai that he has to train? He might already know how to use Bankai. I mean, he looks so epic, he might already know how to activate Bankai, and he might just be able to, he might not have to do any Bankai training. But that's see, I don't think he has access to his visored powers. I think his visored powers went away. I don't think he has that anymore, but Ichigo always had that like inner hollow. I don't know if he still has his inner hollow with this new form. And also, we don't know anything about his sword. We don't know exactly what the Zanpakuto is called. I'm hoping in the next chapter they'll give us some enlightenment on his new form and tell us more about his new powers. I think that obviously he has a new Zanpakuto, so I'm sure it's going to have a new name. It's probably not going to be called Zangetsu, or it's not going to be called Ingetsu. He might just, it might have a completely new name. And you know what? There might be a new form for the sword. Like instead of Old Man Zangetsu with the red jacket and the epic black hair, you might have some completely new person speak to Ichigo. It might not look anything like Zangetsu. It's going to be a completely new person or new image, because you always have something that represents a Zanpakuto, like, you have their spirit form, like Zabimaru is a baboon, and, stuff like that. Like they have animals or people that represent their Zanpakuto. So, I don't know. Ichigo might not have a human representing his Zanpakuto. He might have an animal or something. We don't know anything yet, but I'm starting to get close to the 15-minute mark, and I only got about a minute left, so I'm going to probably try to wrap this up. I didn't really get to cover everything, I guess, but I could sit here and talk for like 30 or 40 minutes about my predictions. But pretty much that's just kind of how I feel about it. But all I know is I re-fell in love with Bleach and Ichigo all over again. I think that this brought back the series, and I think that it, I'm still real into One Piece. Pretty much my rankings for the big three are One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. Naruto is probably my least favorite out of the top three. I don't hate Naruto. I have a bunch of Naruto posters over here on my wall. I'm still a big fan of it, but, I think Naruto is starting to it's getting a lot better. Because I don't want to start talking about Naruto because this was supposed to be strictly Bleach, but I do think Naruto's getting better, but One Piece is getting better too. All the big three manga are just all getting better. They're all good in my opinion. I love all three of them, but pretty much I got like 30 seconds left. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. If you want to tell me what your predictions are, I just talked about pretty much some predictions that I saw on the YouTube videos, what people said that they thought about, like the glowing sword and the energy sword being like from Ichigo's father, and they think Rukia gave some of her power. Some people think that Ichigo's gonna, have a new Bankai, and he's like, some people are saying, oh man, Ichigo's probably stronger than like all the captains now, and he's just so epic. But anyway, I got about 10 seconds left. I'm gonna sign off here. This is Sam, and I hope you guys have a good day.